Dear sweet baby Jeebus, look at this thing. I just can't believe that this thing's a 2006 model. Ridiculous. Oh my god. It's so pretty. Alrighty. Big clunk. Does anybody else get on a motorbike once you've got all your gear on, your gloves and everything, and then immediately start checking all the zips? Is that a thing? I just seem to think that I just do it every time. Like, I put all the gear on, tighten all my zips up, put my gloves on, get on the bike, and then I'm like, oh, is that zip shut? So welcome back to another video, y'all. Oh my god, feels so good to be out on the bike. It's amazing. I mean, it's chilly, but it's not cold, if that's a thing. It's not like, oh, I wish I was back at home. It's alright, it's not too bad, just a little bit of a chill in the air. Because apparently, in the way that things are in England at the minute, a couple of days of sunshine then leads us to having fucking snow at some point. What is that about? Alright, welcome back to another video, y'all. It's been a while since I've done anything like this. Let's just go past. It's been a while since I've done any bike stuff, obviously because the world decided to throw itself on its head and everything went a little bit shit-shaped. So I'm back with a different bike. This is the Kawasaki ZX1400, or in England it's the ZZR1400. This bike is an American import. It was owned by a guy in America that was in love with it that much that when he came to England he brought it with him, and it was his bike then for, it was 11 or 12 years. And it's only got 14,000 mile on the clock, and it's a 2006 model. So there's a couple of things that I should just get out the way first. First thing being is the age of this bike doesn't bother me. I've got to a point in life with, and I'm going to sound like a proper old fart now, a boomer. I don't need to upgrade my phone anymore. You know, all phones are that good now that what you're paying for realistically is some marketing guy to say you need this phone because the camera on it will make your dick look bigger. And you know, that's, I don't need that. I just, it's why? I just don't need to do it. It's a load of crap. Same with motorbikes. You know, I've got to the point now where I really do think that a lot of it is a load of hyped shit. Because underneath it all, most bikes are the same, you know, especially these type of bikes, these hyper bikes, which is what it is. So 2006, we'll call it a ZX because it is a ZX. 2006 ZX 1400 from Kawasaki, 14,000 mile, full service history. All the bells and whistles on it. Had a few little modifications underneath the hood to push it along a little bit quicker than what it already will go. Nice police officer just sitting off there waiting for all the bikes to come howling down the fucking road. Whatever, I'm not bothered, I don't care. You'll never catch me. Of course they will. What was I saying? Yeah, so it's had a few little things done to it to kind of perk it up a little bit, and you know, it's phenomenal. This thing is absolutely fucking ridiculous. Ridiculous. This bike is so fucking stupid. It's just mad. It's mad how fast it is. What I will say as well, if you are thinking of getting one of these, go out and ride one first, because this came with slight bar risers on it, 30mm I think they are, and when I got it I was like, oh, I probably don't want the bar risers, I'll take them off. I took them off, took the bike for a spin, and within 10 minutes I thought, yeah, they're going back on. It's not that it was uncomfortable, because it wasn't. It's not an uncomfortable bike, it's very comfy for what it is. I just felt, I don't know, just felt a little bit better. Felt a little bit better with just being 30mm up a little bit, you know, because some people do that straight bar conversion, and that then kind of makes it a completely different bike. So that was never going to be for me. So yeah, I'd recommend the bar risers definitely. It's definitely worth putting on. Double bubble screen on this as well, and it's got standard cans on it. There is a power commander, and like you say, there's been an ECU flash and a few other bits and pieces done on the paperwork that I won't bore you to death with, but it's got standard cans on it. I think the days of me putting stubby exhausts and making a shitload of noise now are well and truly over, and I think the main reason for that is, especially where I go riding in like Wales and up into the, you know, the valleys and the back roads or whatever, if you're on a motorbike that's got a dead loud exhaust, and it, you know, they can hear you coming from fucking miles away, and by the time you get to them, they're waiting for you. They've already decided that they're going to do you somehow. At least with this, I can kind of whip along at, you know, knobhead speeds and do my thing, and they're not really hearing me coming. It's just like a little bit of a whoosh past them, and that's it. That word was whoosh, you know. So, hello mate. Where was I? Oh yeah. So, if you're in the market for a ZZR1400 like I was, I've still got the Triumph Tiger. It's still sitting in the garage. I just got a little bit bored of that bike, and I said in that actual review, I was kind of always selling the Tigers that I had, because I was always looking for maybe a bit more power, a bit more excitement, and then I said I was never going to get rid of it, which is why I just put it in the garage, and I've not really committed to moving it on yet. The ZZR, on the other hand, was a bike that I always wanted when they first come out, but I was in a position in life where I couldn't afford one, because they were ridiculously expensive when they first come out. So I decided just to wait, you know, until I think the price has got a little bit more healthy for my bank balance. For £4,500, that got me a 2006 model. Well, there's actually a choice between two bikes, because I had a choice between a 2011 model with over 40,000 miles on it that had been dropped by the guy that owned it in his garage. He just lost control of putting it on the side stand, and it rolled forward, and then it damaged all the left hand side. Now that's kind of normal behavior, you know what I mean? You get a bit older, you lose a bit of strength, and the next thing you know, the bike's over on its arse. So I had a choice of that or a choice of this. Now most people would say, well, why didn't you get the newer bike? Well, the newer bike wasn't that appealing to me, because they both looked the same. The 2006 had the lower mileage, so it just made sense for me to get this. You know, it made sense for me to get the, you know, slightly older machine, which is the same bike. You know, the Gen 2 didn't kick in till after 2011, I don't think. And this is all the fucking bike you're gonna need. You know, if you're in the market for getting something that will whip you along at like supersonic ridiculous speeds and be relatively comfortable, then this is definitely worth a look. I know that the new Hayabusa is out. Personally, I'm not a massive fan of the Hayabusa. I just don't like the shape. That's all there is. It's a stonking bike. I just don't like the look of it, you know. I mean, Susan Boyle seems like a very, very nice lady. Like, really nice. I've got nothing against Susan Boyle. Definitely wouldn't want to stick me dick in her though. You know what I mean? That's probably the weirdest analogy that I've ever had to use on a YouTube video. Susan Boyle is a really nice lady. I'm sure she's lovely, but I definitely would not want to stick me dick in her. I don't know if I'm going to leave that in. I mean, I might. You know, all the Susan Boyle fans will probably fucking hate me, but when you buy a motorbike, when you get off it and you walk away, if you don't turn round and look back at it, you don't like it enough. And that's true. Go on. That's true with this bike. You can get one of these cheap, you know, just under £5 gonna get you a shit ton of bike. They are 99% of the time well looked after. It's got amazing build quality. You know, this is a 2006 model and it still feels like it was made last week. The engine's quiet, smooth, no problems with it. It's not knocking, pissing, doing anything wrong. It's solid. It's absolutely solid. I mean, for me, the double bubble screen's kind of necessary because I've heard that the standard one's a little bit crap. Heated grips are on this, and the bar risers, I've got this 30mm bar risers on it, which definitely help, because when I first got the bike, like I said, I immediately took them off and regretted it and put them straight back on. It's just it's the difference between uncomfortable for me and nicely comfortable. The downsides to this bike is, because it's so fast, it's a license loser. You're going to lose your license on this bike without doubt, because it's deceptively quick and you don't really realise how fast you are going until it's too late. These are notorious for eating brakes and tyres as well, so bear that in mind. I love this thing. I genuinely love this bike. When I was riding with one of my mates the other week, he kind of hit the nail on the head, because he's known me for a very, very long time and he's seen every bike and every car that I've bought. And he said he's riding a ZX10, and he said, "Do you know what that bike is?" I was like, "What?" He said, "That's the bike you should have bought 12 years ago." And I thought, you know what, you're right, it is the bike I should have bought 12 years ago. When I got on it for the first time, I felt really comfortable, confident. I think it's better put together than the Triumph. The Triumph's a little bit kind of rattly, if that makes sense. It's a little bit kind of rattly. But this is just smooth and nice, and it'll look after you, but obviously if you piss it off and don't respect it, it's going to let you know.